sports all plays. All sports all plays. All sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
I believe you are frozen on my end.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.S.R. Gonzosportsroom, Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. I'm Gonzo, joined by special guest tonight, the one and only Big Glenn. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great, man. The Reds won today. I just wish the people would have came up on their end, but hey, we got a game on Friday, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, always a good day when the Reds wins. Man, for 9 games over 500 right now before the All-Star break. It's been a long time since the Reds have been 9 games over 500, but they've won 7 straight road series as well. That's first time since 1976. Big Red Machine days.
Not since our guy Tony went to the World Series that 1 year down there when he was younger, man. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, been a while. And they've won 7 of their last 8. So I mean, they went on that 12-game winning streak, lost 3 in a row, won 3 in a row, lost 1, and now have won 4 in a row. So they got a big series coming up. Hopefully they can sweep the Nationals tomorrow. Then they got that big series coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday to close out the All-Star break against the Brewers. If we can win that series against the Brewers going into All-Star break, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think if we can take at least over half of the series from them, we'll be just fine. It's great to know that the Reds are doing good in that way, being a game and a half ahead of in the lead of the division. Because that wasn't on none of our Reds fans being a part of this year. It was being a game and a half up on the division in early July.
Oh yeah, I was just hoping that we was going to be more competitive than we was last year. I didn't think we'd be doing what we're doing now.
I figured
the more I watch it, the more I think it could be sustainable. Excuse me. Throughout the second half of the season, because Ashcraft is starting to look like he did early in the season before he got hurt. Andrew Abbott's just been outstanding, and then if you get Green back here in probably about a month, Lodolo should be coming back here real soon. So our starting pitching is starting to get healthy, and our bullpen has been pretty solid for the most part. But you get some of these games, you get some of these starters healthy, but that can also make our bullpen deeper, because a couple of these guys we've been using as starters, they could be coming out of the bullpen, and I think they would probably have a little more success than trying to be a starting pitcher at this point in their career.
You got that right. I wonder if we're also going to try to get the torpedo from is he still playing with the Yankees, I believe? I forget his name. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, damn it. Yeah.
Now escapes me.
now his name just – it used to be with the Red. Chapman. Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, Chapman, yeah.
Cuban Missile. Yeah,
the Cuban Missile, yeah, that's what they call
him. No, he's not with the Yankees. I forget who he's with now. There's rumors that we might get him for the bullpen. I know he's wanting to come back to Cincinnati. I mean, if you can get him on a cheap deal, I wouldn't be totally against it. But it's going to be interesting to see if the Reds are going to be buyers at the trade deadline if they're going to go after try to strengthen their pitching staff up a little bit and see where they could really go, or if they could or if they're going to stay more put, be sellers per se, and kind of stay put and see what they can do in the second half of the season with what they got. So
Yeah,
I think it'll be interesting to see what they do.
according to Dustin, I believe that's Statman, right? Dustin Reese. He said that he was traded for Chapman. Texas did that.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, okay, so that means the Reds ain't going to be doing that then.
Oh, we forget about that one then, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't see none of the Cubs game tonight, Dustin. I watched some of that Cubs game yesterday. I watched the last 3 or 4 innings of that game after the Reds game went off yesterday. And that was a wild game yesterday, and the Cubs ended up pulling out the win. I guess they won again tonight. So that moves the Reds 2 games up. 2 games up.
Yep, I figured we would be down there with Pittsburgh and St. Louis, in that middle ground and the NL Central. I didn't really expect this to be up there at the top right now, but hey, I'll take it every day of the week, twice on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I didn't expect the Cardinals to be last in the Central either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Consider the fact that they've been the best team in our division, let alone baseball, for like the last 20 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't per se thinking they were going to be like real strong, but I didn't think they was going to be at the very bottom of the division. But I also didn't expect the Reds to be in first in the division either. So I mean, and the Pirates got off to a real hot start. They cooled off a little bit after that hot start, but I mean they're a better team. The Cubs have been hot here lately. They're a better team than they were last year.
Yeah.
The Cardinals don't look like they're as good not even as good as they were last year, let alone a better team where the other teams in the division have improved from last year.
Almost definitely, man. Like it's all flip flopped and zigzagged around in NL Central.
Let's see. Right now, the Padres are leading the Angels 5-3. Giants are up 2-0 over the Mariners. I have the Giants in that game. It'd be nice if the Giants win that one.
I would never bet for the Giants ever. You know why? Never in the NFL how we given up a 3 or was it 2-0, 3-0 lead in the LDS about 10 years ago. Oof. Yeah.
And the speaking of the Pirates, they're up 4-1 right now on the Dodgers in the bottom of the 4th.
Hell yeah. I seen where the Marlins got a good victory today, and the A's with a big upset.
Yeah, I had the Marlins as one of my picks today as well, so that worked. I was glad to see that one, and that came off of a walk-off play.
Hell yeah. That's always a good day right there when you see a team win on a walk-off.
All right. Hell, if the Giants win, all my picks would be right today.
Hell yeah. Going into Thursday undefeated, it sounds like right
now. The other game I picked was the Blue Jays and White Sox, and it got postponed. So
yeah,
the only game I have left is the Giants. I got my other 3 games right because I had the Phillies against the Rays, Marlins against the Cardinals, and the Reds against the Nationals.
Yeah, by the way, Price Picks has been live in Indiana finally. I got an email from them guys yesterday, and they said they are live in Indiana. So if you like betting point spreads for like certain players, player props, that is the app for you. I actually tried it out tonight. It's pretty fun.
All right, I'll check that. I'll maybe check that out.
Oh yeah.
But no, there's been some. Damn, yeah, the A's killed the Tigers today.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, that's an upset.
Oh yeah, but let's switch over, talk a little Indiana Fever because I know you're well connected with the Fever and the Pacers.
I'm right there in the middle of it.
Being there in Indy.
So
the Fever have a really. I know the record might not show it, but they're a lot better team they were last year, and that there's been 3 or 4 games I've seen that they very easily could have won, and the record would look totally different, and people be talking about the Fever a lot different. I know you've been on. I know you're at all the home games. I know sometimes you go to some of the road games. Uh, what do you think so far of the Indiana Fever season?
Well, first off, I mentioned to you in the pre lobby here before we got started. We need to feed Aaliyah Boston more in the second half. She only got a few touches and scored like 4 or 6 points in the second half. She needs more touches because she's the one that keeps us in the games. And we are not getting her involved, you got guards throwing up whack shots, trying to play hero ball when they should be playing team ball. But yes, we're looking better than last year, but we can definitely use a lot more improvement.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Boston has played outstanding, and I agree with you. There's times I feel like they go away from her too much.
Yes,
But
especially in the second half here. These last several games now, it's starting to become annoying in that way. I'm like, oh,
what do you think what do you think the Fever need to do? Is there a move they need to make? What do you think they need to do to take that next step to start winning more games and being a playoff team?
I think they could definitely make a trade for. She is currently on the Phoenix Mercury on maternity leave. Fever need to bring home Skylar Diggins Smith is what we need to do. Make some kind of trade because when she comes back from maternity leave later this year, she ain't gonna be wanting to play on the Mercury team that is looking towards the lottery right now. That's pretty much how I
Yeah,
feel on that one, obviously.
and the Fever have a pretty young team
Oh yeah.
because they were starting like 3 rookies last year,
Hmm.
and then I know Boston's starting as a rookie this year. So I mean, so I know they got at least 4 or 5 players that are in their first, second year that are playing a lot of minutes for them.
Oh yeah. Um, Melissa has really stepped up her game. I'm actually surprised that she was not elected to be on the All Star reserve this year. Kelsey Mitchell, however, did get in, but when you got teams like Vegas Aces, you got our guy Frankie's team, the New York Liberty, that have multiple All Stars from their teams. It's kind of hard to get a third player. But I'm just happy that we got two. I predicted that we would get at least two All Stars in the WNBA All Star game this year, which I will actually be there a week from Friday.
I was gonna say you're gonna be there. You got like a whole weekend thing, didn't you?
Yep, from our the Star drink. It's used to be Sierra Mist. I won the grand prize from them, which is great. It's gonna be a fun weekend next week. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. You get to go to like all the All Stars stuff going on that weekend, like what
Yep,
like
it's one time. Yep.
skills challenges and all that.
Yeah, we get there. We will get there right on time when that's supposed to start. We'll have enough time to get our bags into the lobby area where before we check in because we can't check in until later in the day. But we'll be able to get in there in time to see all that.
All right, hell yeah. How many days is that down there? Is that like 2 or 3?
Yeah, we leave. Me and my guy, we leave on Friday the 14th, and we come back late Sunday night. So Saturday will be the fun day of the two of the down there. So it's gonna be, you know how much I love me some Vegas, man. It's gonna be one hell of a time.
For the people that don't know, Glenn is usually he's always in the comment section, but this dude is the king at winning contests.
Yeah,
He's always winning a trip somewhere for something.
trips or tickets,
Yep.
and it's one of those things. If me and Michael Jordan was competing, man, he would be pissed off, man. He would be taking it personally in that way.
And I know another team that you follow a lot, Indiana Pacers.
Yes. I know this is leading into probably our next topic, which should be our trades, the free agency and stuff. I am happy we got Obi Toppin from New York. I saw him play in Dayton the 1 year that I lived there before I moved here to Indianapolis. And holy crap, man. I was wishing that we could have moved up, traded up the year that Obadiah, his actual name is Obadiah, but I wish we would have traded for him, moved up in the draft to get that pick from whoever was up there in the draft, which is I think it was 10, and to get Obi that year. But now that we got him on a relatively cheap deal for this couple second rounders, I'm all for that one. That dude is good.
Yeah, I really like that move, especially we basically got him for nothing.
Yeah.
Get a couple second rounders, got him cheap. I really thought that was a real good move. And then I like what they done in the draft. And then I like bringing in Bruce Brown as well. I know a lot of people say we overpaid him. Well, when you're in Indiana, you're going to have to overpay a little bit for some players. But we needed a guy with some defensive presence, and he is that. He's also a better scorer than what people give him credit for. But he can help on the defensive end. And he's a guy that's comfortable that can come off the bench if we need him to. I don't expect that he's going to be, especially not paying him that much money. But with him and Mathurin and Halliburton, and then I think this Walker that we picked up is really going to help us defensively as well. And I think he's going to turn into a good offensive player. And that's not even counting Turner especially when he's engaged and really rebounding. Yes. He can stretch the floor in the offensive end. He's a great rim protector. It's just sometimes he can get a little lazy on the rebounding. But when he's really engaged and he's rebounding, man, I think this Pacers team is going to be a good team, and I think we'll have a chance to be right there in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I really believe we should be somewhere in the playoff range.
Yeah, 5 through 8 is what I feel.
I think we should have been there last year if Halliburton wouldn't got hurt. It was once he got hurt, we just never could get back in any kind of rhythm when he came back from his injury.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how all that unfolded. As soon as I go to Daytona for the NASCAR opening week, he comes back from his injury, and we don't capture all of that juice that we had beforehand.
And Mathurin has a couple little nagging injuries, and then he slowed down a little bit in the second half of the season, but you're going to see that in a rookie, not used to playing that many games like that. So I can understand that a little bit, but I think he's going to have a big year this year.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think he's going to have a breakout year, similar to what Alyssa Smith is going through on the Fever side of it. You're going to see that stat line jump up a bunch.
Yeah, what do you think the Pacers need to do next? You think Rick Carlisle's the right coach as well?
That's a hard question to answer. I do. I think as of right now, yes. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, it could be Jim O'Brien for all that we know. So
that's true.
Yes. But I am a little bit disappointed that we got rid of Chris Dorday. That dude was such a nice guy, and our guy David would go see him at the team at the airport when they would leave, and everything. And I actually got to see Chris on a couple of the road games I went to. Each one I went to, I've seen Chris every time, taking a picture with him. Such a nice guy. Definitely will be missed here in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, and he got off to a hot start with the Pacers, and then he got an injury, and then he kind of started falling out of the rotation last year.
Yeah.
So when they drafted Walker, it didn't surprise me that they moved on from him. But I'm not gonna lie, I'll miss him as well. I thought he had. Well, I'm not gonna say thought. I still think he has potential to be a good player in the NBA, and he got off to a real hot start. Like I said, that rookie season got off to a real hot start, and some injuries kind of slowed him down. And then last year, he just never could, some injuries at the beginning of the year, then he could just never get no rhythm.
And not only that, he went up to Fort Wayne for when he came back from one of the injuries, and you can just tell that he's not been his old self. I'm not sure if it's just because the injury is affecting his player or what, but you can just tell that some of the juice has left to build his body in that way.
I wonder if he's lost a little bit of his confidence.
Could be. But when you're pro, got to have it ready to go.
Dustin says Pacers are a play-in team this year. It's time to build around my neighbor Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was glad they signed Halliburton to that extension because I think he's somebody we can build around. John says thoughts on Toppin. Yeah, I love the move of
We
getting
love it.
Toppin.
Yes.
We got Toppin for cheap, and I watched Toppin this year for the Knicks, and then that second round of the playoffs wasn't understand why he wasn't getting more run because in the first round of the playoffs he played real well for the Knicks.
That's an issue with Tom Thibodeau. His coaching style is this wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, because in the first round of the playoffs, he played real well, and then he didn't get hardly no playing time in that series against the Heat.
He faded quicker into the bushes quicker than Homer Simpson, like in that one meme.
And then John says, "I think getting Bruce Brown was a huge pickup." Yeah, I agree. I think that was a real good pickup. I wasn't necessarily expecting it just because, I mean, Pacers usually don't make moves like that.
No, and not only that, he had got his team. His name was linked to another team. I forget who it was, but it's one of those things that when his name came up in it, you was surprised that we got him.
Well, his name was linked with the Pacers, I think, or not Pacers. Damn it, Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers.
I think it was.
Oh, LeBron would want him. For obvious reasons.
But no, I think he's a great pickup. I think he'll fit in good with the core that we have. Now I think if we can stay healthy, I expect the Pacers to be in the playoffs.
Yes,
I think we'll be one of the top teams in the East, but I mean that's my expectation is at least be a playoff team.
Yeah, I see where everybody's starting to get crazy because they've seen that Joel Embiid, like one of the tweets of I forget who the heck it was, but everybody's getting excited. I'm sitting here like, chill out, everybody. It's just a like tweet. It doesn't mean that he's.
Everybody thinks he's going to the Knicks now.
Or no, the Pacers. It was linked to the Pacers. I think it was one of the Pacer players.
Yeah. He liked the tweet of that Toppin was joining the Pacers.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people thought that he was saying that he wants to go to the Knicks, and that the Knicks were trying to clear space for him, I guess.
I see what you're saying. Both fan bases was getting excited, obviously, but yeah.
I don't know. Embiid's a hell of a player, but can he stay healthy Can he stay healthy enough to lead a team to a championship? That's
his back says no right now, so I have to go with this.
Yeah. So I mean, I fail to see it right now.
Yeah, because they get to the second round, and all of a sudden, Joel is starting to have issues. Issues throughout the season with his back, with this whatever the heck.
And now they're talking like Harden might stay in Philadelphia.
That guy doesn't know what the heck he wants.
I'm gonna say if I'm a team, I wouldn't want to deal with the dude. You opt into your contract, then demand a trade. If you didn't want to be here, just go into free agency. And then now maybe you want to change your mind and stay. It's like
make it remind.
Okay, you'll change your mind, want to stay, then they'll commit to you staying, and then halfway through the season, you're going to be whining and demanding a trade.
It's something like Minnesota or something, which wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. What do you think of Damian Lillard's basically saying that only place he wants to play is Miami, and then off of that, you got a lot of people that want to talk like Portland owes it to Lillard to make sure he gets to go where he wants to go. Do you think Portland owes it to Lillard to trade him any certain place?
No, they don't, and it's the truth because when you're focused on building a ball club as a GM, you need to be focused on the present and the future. Yes, Dame has been loyal to you guys, but I don't think that they should be overextending themselves and potentially trading him for essentially nothing, because you're going to hurt your team in the long run if you do that. It might take him a longer time if they just give him to another team like Miami or cater to Dame in that way.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
They have to do. I mean, I can understand if you want to try to get him somewhere that's a contender, just because. But you also have to do what you think is best for the team. What package you can get that you think's best for you, not just what. Oh, sending him here no matter what because we owe him that.
Yeah.
No,
No, you don't own.
no, you don't owe him. You don't owe him nothing. You paid him well to be in Portland.
Yeah,
So I mean, you don't owe him nothing when it comes to that.
exactly.
Now, do I have a problem with them trying to get him to somewhere he wants to go? No, but also if you're an owner of it, or not even the owner, GM of a team, like you said, your job is to worry about the future, worry about
Getting your team wins and getting in the
yeah.
playoffs and making
So
it
your job isn't to worry about just making Damian Lillard happy. You got to worry about the whole thing. So you got to try to get the best package you can get, and
exactly.
they're not just going to give him away. I think there's a good chance that he starts the season with the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance it could end up kind of like KD and Kyrie, and it happened later in the season, maybe toward the trade deadline.
Yeah, then like the week of the trade deadline, all of a sudden at 2 a.m, the trade goes off. I think you and I was getting ready to go to sleep or something because I think I messaged you about it, and I was just getting ready to go to bed. Then the KD trade to Phoenix happens. So,
Frankie.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Frankie. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Well, did the Yankees win today?
Not sure. I didn't check it. That's one score that I did not check, but I will actually pull this up right here.
If they won, Frankie's doing good. If they didn't win, he probably isn't doing real great.
They probably won because he's actually talking to us today. Usually, if his team's not doing well, they
I think
they lost 6-3.
I knew they won. Couldn't remember what they done today, but hell, he's probably deaf from all those fireworks he was lighting off last night. Dude had all kinds of fireworks. He was blowing some shit up last night.
Yeah, he looked like he had a freaking whole army of fireworks down there in the back of his truck. I saw that. I'm like, this dude is ready to light it up.
Tell you what, you had there from your house, you had a perfect view of the Indianapolis fireworks.
Almost definitely. It moved a few years ago, I think, during COVID, because one of the new apartment buildings that went up over by the Regions Tower had filed a complaint with the city of Indianapolis. So they ended up moving it from like there to on the other side of the federal building, which if you see my pictures on Facebook or Twitter, you know pretty much where that's at. So it's when they let those off at where they're at now, it's a great view. Perfect view because I live at top of my building. So,
and then Dustin asked if you follow the Indy 11.
I do actually. I would consider myself in the Brickyard Battalion in that way. I just don't go to a lot of games because I'm usually following the fever and everything. So, the Indy 11 women's they in the playoffs, and I do believe they play tomorrow. I forget who they play though. So.
Have you went to the Indianapolis Indian games?
I went to one and I had a rough experience. It wasn't. So I'll actually go into the details of this. So it was like right before Fever preseason. They had a Fever meet and greet with Aaliyah Boston and Grace Berger. I hadn't actually got to see him in person yet, So I'm like, well, hell, I'm gonna get a ticket off my buddy that I know that works out there and go see them. I get to the game. You have to have a wristband to go see them. I was like, man, I was pissed off, man. I ended up watching them throw out that first pitch, and I kid you not, I went on home after that. So.
But you don't live very far from the.
No, I had a free Uber voucher, so it was like a free ride home, so I really didn't care. So.
Yeah, I've always had a good time at the Indianapolis Indians games. I haven't went to one for probably in a couple of years. I went to Fort Wayne, 10 Caps a couple of times. That's a nice ballpark to go watch a game at. I went there actually once this year already, and I went to one Reds game this year already. I'm gonna try to I'd like to get to another one.
Yeah,
We
same
went and
here,
watched him
man.
play.
I wish I could have won this year as well. So
Yeah, we went and watched him play the Yankees earlier in the season.
that was that Sunday morning brunch game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so because I remember it being like 11:30 or something like that, and
I'd
I
like to
was
go to another one, especially now that Delly Cruz is up.
almost definitely, man.
I like to see him in person, but I'd also like to see Matt McClain in person. Matt McClain's kind of getting overshadowed a little bit. He's having just as good a year, if not better, than Delly Cruz.
Oh yeah,
And he's been. I mean, tomorrow makes a month that Delly Cruz has been up in the major league. McClain's been up a while, and he's been ball. I mean, he's really been playing some good baseball.
you got that right, man. I saw a video. I think it was MLB Sports or something. It was it was narrated by one of the guys who used to run the 10 Reasons Why You Shouldn't Blame somebody documentary that used to run on ESPN Classic. He said that the Reds have like 8 players that have come up through the farm league that are above average MLB players, and he said it's very rare to have 2 players that are producing that well this far into the season and everything, and we got 8.
Oh yeah. I mean, hell, we have 2 guys that could be right up there for rookie of the year, and Steer and McClain. And hell, you could, if Abbott keeps pitching the way he is, you could throw him up in there. So that could be 3. I just don't. Only reason I don't say Delly Cruz is because he came up later in
He
later
probably
in
has
the
to cut
season.
off for it.
So that could hurt him on that. But if not, I mean, hell, we could have 3 or 4 guys that are competing for rookie of the year, and then you add Jonathan India, who I'd been saying at the beginning of the season was going to have a breakout year.
Yep.
He had a great rookie season. Kind of not that he played bad last season, but kind of fell off a little bit because he had some injuries and stuff. But he's looking good this season. I know a lot of people don't like that he's batting third. They want him back at leadoff, but I like Friedel at leadoff when he plays, and I think Newman does a good job there. I think India did fall off just a little bit when they first moved him, but now I think he's getting used to that role at third, and you see him, he's been pounding the ball here as of late. And then Votto's came back, is playing well. He came out, had a good first week, and then went like 0 for 19, and everybody wanted to get him out of the lineup again. And in the last 2 days, he pounded the ball.
See, the thing is, when you get to that age, notice that because Shaq and Charles Barkley talk about when they're on the inside of the NBA, when you get up there in that 35 plus range in age, you're gonna have streaky performances, and stuff. So those fans need to chill out.
But hell, man, there's been fans that have been saying that Delly Cruz will be back in the minors before the end of the season, and that
right.
The Reds brought him up because he got off that real good start. Then he had like 2 or 3 games where he didn't get a hit, and they were all, they brought him up too early. Told you he shouldn't have been brought up yet. And I'm like, dude. And then if you look at the last 2 or 3 games, he's been pounding the ball. He was like 4 for 4 yesterday. He had another 2 or 3 hits today. And he smashed that home run. It was like 112 off the bat and went like 456 feet or something.
He's going to make one down near the Ohio River at some point this year. Watch him. He's going to do it.
He almost did it already. Almost out of the stadium. Yeah, he almost hit one out of the ballpark that first weekend that he was with the Reds.
Yeah, he's going to get one out of the ballpark this year, I believe.
Timothy asked a question. So, what brings out the maniac in you as far as sports? I would say a close Reds game, but Indianapolis Colts would be probably where I probably get us fired up and stuff when it goes to sports wise. But Reds are the same way, especially if they were in the playoffs. But the Colts, NFL's a little different, where every game kind of means a little more, because you don't have as many games you do in the other sports. So I would say probably the Colts would be the sports team that probably brings out the maniac. And then UFC can get me pretty fired up sometimes when there's a real good fight and you have a real good fight going as well. So, but yeah, I would probably say the Colts for me. What about you? What would be yours, Glenn?
I say it's a mixture of 3 different things actually. Fever playoffs, Pacer playoffs, close games between those two teams, and either Chase Elliott in the lead with 5 laps to go or Kyle Busch in the lead with 5 laps to go. That gets me going, buddy, because when I went to St. Louis for the NASCAR race back about a month ago, and I got to see Kyle Busch win the race down there. And when he took that lead with like a little bit left in the race, if you can see it in the videos that I posted from it, I'm like, yeah, going.
Yeah, I've never been to a race. I want to go to one. I need to go. I want to go to Indy 500, but I also want to go to a NASCAR race as well. So I need to go to. I need to go to the Brickyard as well.
Yeah, the NASCAR at the Brickyard would be easy for you because there's not a whole lot of fans. You can probably get like a cart, to take your seat and stuff. That's why I've used a few times myself, especially for the 500. Because sometimes that track is so huge, it's unreal. So I was surprised that I was able to get from turn 1 to turn 4 just walking this year. So.
Yeah, I want to go to at least one. I haven't been. I'm gonna try to go to one of them, at least one of them next year.
Hell yeah, just hit me up, man. I could probably find some tickets somewhere.
Do you go to Colts games?
I went to the preseason game last year, and see, the thing is with the Colts games, if they're not doing well, I'm not usually too turned on into it in that way. But if I could find me a cheap one, I would likely go.
Okay, so you don't follow the Colts like you do the Fever and the Pacers?
I do, but I don't. For me, they would have to be doing well. Like, I still follow them because they're on the.
And Colts tickets are more expensive too.
Yes, that's part of the reason why I kind of like not getting into too much.
Especially when you can sit at home, and watch it and don't have to fight the crowd. Have a real good view.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I've been to that I went to that preseason game with the Lions last year. That was like $35, and I sat right behind the end zone and stuff. So
I didn't go to a game last year. The year before, I think it was the year before. It's been a couple of years ago. I went. My son got me tickets for Father's Day for me, him, and my dad, and we all went to a game. We had real good seats. We sat like 10 rows up, lower level, on like the 40-yard line.
Oh yeah.
In best seats I've ever had for a football game.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, those are almost impossible to win from somebody, even the local radio guys. I've not won one yet.
But we're going to try to go to. We're going to try to go this year when they play the. I think the Raiders.
Yeah, that'd be a good game.
So, because my son's.
He's Raiders.
Well, no, my son's actually an Arizona Cardinals fan, but his father-in-law is a big Raiders fan, and then me and Dad are big Colts fans.
Yeah,
and he just and my son just likes going to football. He just likes watching football games, but he's a Cardinals fan, so he's wanting to go to that game. Or all of us get together and go to that game since we're big Colts fans, and then his father-in-law is a big Raiders fan. He wants to try to get him to go. So I was like, I'm down to go.
Yeah,
go
if you guys end up going, let me know where you guys' seats are, and if I can make it work, I probably will try to go. Speaking of things to try to go, there'd be Fastlane, man. I'm waiting for that pre-sale, buddy.
I would like to go to that too. I think McAfee will be in a match that night.
He's already talking about he's up to something, and usually you know how he is.
Well, I know he's going to be on vacation from a show like the last couple of weeks of July, so I wouldn't be surprised if he don't show up at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and because I figure that's when he's going to ESPN is when he comes back from that break at the beginning of August. I figure that's when he's planning on going to I figure that's when they're making that move to ESPN is what I'm figuring. They haven't announced the exact date, but
yeah,
I figure when he comes back from this 2 or 3 week break that they're going to take, that's when they're going to make the switch.
Yeah, that ESPN usually has like a period of like 2 or 3 weeks in July where they don't have like their main programming people on. So like you'll have like Little League World Series or Wimbledon tennis, stuff.
Hey, dude, I love the Little League World Series. I watch all of it.
that run that freaking Hagerstown had last year. Oh my
Oh
goodness,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
insane.
I tried to get the coach of the team to come on the show, but we weren't able to get it worked out. I thought that'd been pretty cool. But yeah, I love watching that Little League. That's actually one of my things I want to go to and watch live is go to that Little League World Series.
Yeah, it's a
It
little,
don't, and it don't cost to get in. You don't have to like buy tickets to get in. So I mean, all it is basically just getting out to Pennsylvania.
yeah, or catch the local regional finals here in Indiana. I think,
Yeah, I've been to that. I've been to that a couple times.
yeah, it's not up in Westfield or was in
It
Westfield.
was in Westfield. Now I think they moved it to a different diamond or a different complex. But when I went to Westfield, and because
Yeah,
they have a couple different regionals there. They would have the Great Lakes, the Midwest regional, and hell, some of them games are on ESPN or
yeah,
ESPN2 and stuff. But yeah, me and my sons went there and watched a few times. It's like watching a miniature Major League Baseball game. The way the park is set up and all
yeah,
the cameras,
yeah.
all the cameras and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It's almost like those backyard baseball games they used to play when we was younger, man. I don't know if you played it on a computer or not, but they used to have like a little kids baseball game called backyard baseball.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, I've played it. That I used to play that and Mario baseball with my son and all,
Yeah,
all kinds of them games. But yeah, I miss playing a good baseball game. I like playing baseball games.
oh yeah,
I used to play the I used to play the show some when I could.
yeah.
Uh,
I used to play Xbox a little bit more before I got into iRacing. So
yeah, I've
my
been wanting to try the iRace, and I haven't tried it. I got a NASCAR game, a couple NASCAR games on my Xbox that I play the NASCAR Heat games.
yeah, I
Uh,
got I got the original on my PC, but I just use iRacing pretty much anymore, man. It's an investment because you have to put money into it, which you know, if you want certain tracks, you'd be just fine. But there's like a bunch of tracks I won't mess with. Like I spoke to you the other day about the Chicago Street Course.
yeah,
There ain't no way in hell I'm gonna buy that track because that just ain't
yeah.
gonna happen.
I play golf. I have a golf game on there I play, and then I like playing Madden.
Yes,
I used to be real good at it. I'm not near as good at it now because I don't play it very often. So I haven't got as good at these new Madden games as I used to be at Madden. But
and for me personally, I was going downhill. It's not what I used to be.
yeah, it's
Uh,
not. Yeah, I agree. I like playing. If I'm gonna be on a game system, I'm usually playing a sports game.
yeah, same here. WWE mainly because it seemed like the only one.
Have you played that real quick before we move on to some other
Yeah,
more NBA topics? But speaking of the WWE video game, I know I've heard this year's game was good. Have you played the new AEW video game?
I have not. I need to find a way
I've
to
seen a
get
lot of
that.
mixed. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews about it.
Yeah, I want to check it out, but I got a lot of stuff coming up. Obviously, I'm not sure if I want to get it right now, but I'm definitely interested. I would definitely pay something to at least play it.
But yeah, it's been I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews about it. People saying it's terrible, and other people like it because it's more of an old. They say it's more has a more of an old school feel to it. But then I've seen people say the graphics on it are like playing on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it relatively looks like it is, but it looks like it's fun. The only
Yeah,
thing that is would be a negative for me personally is the roster size. The roster size is quite small, even with the DLC.
yeah. Well, what do you think about Brandon Miller's debut so far with the in the summer league?
I actually have not checked out Summer League
He,
yet.
he struggled. He ended up with 18 in that first game, but he struggled most of the game and had a good fourth quarter. But today he struggled, had quite a few turnovers and struggled shooting the ball. Uh,
Yeah,
people already starting to get on the Charlotte that they made the wrong decision, passing over Scoot to take Miller.
yeah, I can see where they would feel that way, especially with considering the fact that Charlotte as a franchise, really ever since the mid 2000s, before they became the Bobcats, and when they was in New Orleans. They haven't really been they've been a relatively awful team, with the exception of a couple Eastern Conference first round matchups, and stuff. So I can see why their fans feel that way.
I don't know. I just never was real impressed with Miller at during the March Madness tournament. I thought he struggled quite a bit there, and against the little bit better competition. So that made me worry about him going up to the next level, because I mean it's a big jump. And not saying he don't have room to develop, but just as going in and being a everyday starter and being successful in his rookie year, I didn't really have that thought for him. I thought he would be a player more that would be going to take a year or two to develop. Where I thought Scoot was a little bit more NBA ready. That's why I would myself personally would have leaned towards Scoot at number 2 instead of Miller. But I mean, I mean they'll have to bring him along as quick as they can, I guess. Yeah, that's something they'll get judged by. That's something they'll get judged by for as long as them two are playing in the NBA.
Yep, they'll either sink or swim in that way.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. Because between him and then Wembanyama, I know people saw him shoot that video. I don't know why San Antonio ever even put that video out of him missing like 4 or 5 shots in a row like that. It's like, why would you put that video out? And it was just a shoot around, wasn't even like in a game or anything.
Yeah,
it's like that was not a good PR move. Bad move by your PR. Terrible decision.
He has the potential to be a bust because
You think so?
Possibly if his body can't help to the demands of the NBA. That's what I'm worried about.
You think he needs to put on a lot of weight like a lot of people do, or what do you think he needs to do to not be a bust?
He needs to put on some muscle mass, because I think he would get, even though he's got the height, he's going to get punked.
So what do you think? Like maybe 20 pounds of muscle, 15, 20 pounds of muscle?
Yeah, enough to have a little bit of mass to where he's not popping, getting knocked around a lot. I mean, he still has a height advantage though, but his health long term is what I'm curious about. Because when Greg Oden came up to the league, he just had injuries after injuries, because his body type is almost identical.
And you see a lot of big men that have feet trouble, lower back trouble, but especially trouble with their feet. I mean, even if you go back to Rick Smits when he was with the Pacers, that's what slowed his career down. I think people forget how good Rick Smits was. That's what slowed his career down, was he started having a lot of trouble with his feet. A lot of them bigger guys like that, they start their legs, knees, and their feet really start giving them problems. So that's something that does worry me with Wembanyama is him. We've never seen a guy that big be able to shake and move like he can, and basically almost run the point. But how long is his body going to allow him to be able to do that? Because we don't know, because we've never really seen much. I mean, yeah, we have KD, but you're talking another 5 or 6 inches taller than KD, or 3 or 4, I don't know, something like that. But I mean, so you're talking about even a taller dude than what KD is. And that's the other thing I go to, where everybody says he needs to put on weight. I agree he needs to put on a little bit of muscle mass. I don't think he needs to put on like 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Weight. But a lot of people, including myself, said the same thing about KD. I know Wembanyama will be playing center a lot, but I also think he'll be playing won't always be playing under the goal. He'll be playing out in the perimeter a lot. Now, I know on defense sometimes he's going to have to be playing under the goal. So, yeah, he is going to have to beef that body up some. But we thought Durant would have that trouble maybe with the physicality because of his slenderness and being so tall. And he's been a killer. So I'm kind of in the mid. I'm kind of in the middle with Wembanyama. I want to see what he looks like in a game, and like I haven't seen him play any summer league or anything yet. So I want to see kind of what he looks like against more of an NBA competition. I know he played on like pro teams in France and stuff, and I'm not putting that league down,
Yeah.
but it's not the same as playing in the NBA either.
Yeah. It'd be like El Higate going up against Kevin Sullivan as far as body size, you know. The old WCW NWA days.
Oh yeah, but all right, you got any final thoughts or anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't covered tonight?
I think we covered everything, so I'm good on my end, Gonzo.
All right, man. Yeah, I think we about covered everything. Don't forget tomorrow we do got a big interview with J County Fair Board member Jason McGraw and also the ladies' man Mike King from DCCW. They're going to be joining us tomorrow to talk about the big DCCW Retro Mania. It's going to be taking place at the J County Fair Monday, July 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern. So they're going to come on tomorrow, talk about a lot of that. That event is featuring former WWE superstars Demolition, Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian, Al Snow. Al Snow's actually doing a seminar before the show. Jimmy the Mouth of the South Heart is going to be there. Congo Kong, also formerly known as Osiris, used to be in TNA. He's going to be there. Brian Pillman Jr. So I mean, they got a stacked card. It should be an awesome show. They're coming tomorrow. Talk about it. We will be live streaming that show Monday night on the Gonzosportsroom YouTube and the ASAP Sports Network YouTube. So come join us for that. And then also on Sunday we'll be live streaming Summit Pro Wrestling at 4:00 Sunday. We got their big show, Independence Day. I know Alice Crowley will be on that card. Sure, President Hadley will be on that card.
All hell Hadley.
And then Del Patrick's is usually on there. So it should be another great show. So we got a lot of wrestling stuff coming up. I know we got Blake Money Wright coming on next week. We got a big WCWO show coming up on July 15th. So I mean, we got a lot of wrestling stuff coming up, and we're only like 60. Yeah, got Fair Fight coming up here in just a couple weeks. Well, be about 3 weeks, and then NFL season's only about 60 days away from starting regular season, so we're getting close to football. College football started a little bit before that. I don't know. You watch college football, Glenn?
Yeah, I follow IU and stuff, but when I do follow college football, besides IU, I tend to pay attention to the SEC and the bowl teams, you know, that are up at the top. You know, Alabama, you know, Tennessee last year got the upset and stuff. So
I think Tennessee would have had a totally different season if Hooker wouldn't have got hurt.
Yeah. I do think I might try to go to the IU Ball State game at Lucas Oil this year. So
I'd like to go to that game. I follow IU quite a bit, and I'll follow Ball State quite a bit as well because I mean I live literally
down the street, almost
literally 5 minutes from the stadium. I mean, hell, that year they were undefeated and went to a bowl game.
Lost to Buffalo
when they had. I went. Well, me and Dad was almost every home game, watching Nate Davis and them guys. I was actually there when Dante Love got hurt. His career got ended, hurt his neck. But yeah, it was I like going there, but I follow IU. I wish IU would get a damn good football team and make a run. I thought we was going to a couple of years ago. Then the quarterback got hurt, and then he ends up transferring, and we haven't been able to get back on the get back going. IU basketball starting to get better.
Yeah, Shane McMahon plays for IU at the last time I knew. So
yep. And then Ball State just got Happy Gilmore on the golf team.
What? Happy Gilmore? I'm gonna check this out.
They just got to commit Happy Gilmore. He's actually from Indiana, but he's going to be playing for Ball State. Adam Sandler actually gave him a shout out. Actually mentioned him, but his real name is Landon. But he's went by Happy since he was like 4 or 5 or like 5 years old or something. That's just like been a name that stuck with him. So that's what he even committed to college as was to Ball State was Happy Gilmore.
Oh, this is great. I want to check this out.
Oh, yeah, you hadn't seen that yet?
No, I don't follow too much golf locally. I don't follow much golf at all, actually.
So I watch a lot. I watch golf. Like I watch especially all the majors. If I'm home, I watch pretty much all the majors. And if I'm not home, I'll check on the phone every now and then, check on the leaderboard. Uh, hell, like if the Reds are playing and we're at a wrestling show, we'll have the Reds on usually on Sirius Radio listening to the game
I remember you guys had
while
that
we got
game on with the one wrestling show we was at a few months ago.
yep. Yeah, we do it with Colts. Well, we had last week for Warrior Pro, we had the Reds game on.
Hell yeah, that's always how you do it.
Oh yeah, especially when they're playing some competitive baseball like they are now. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah.
And if we can, man, you know how awesome it'd be if we can win tomorrow. We'd sweep the Nationals, and if we could sweep the Brewers for 3 games going into All-Star break, that'd put us like on an 8-game winning streak going into All-Star break. Yeah, man, because that would put us 3 or 4 games ahead of the Brewers at All-Star break. We have an opportunity to put ourselves in a pretty good position going into the second half, especially even if we don't sweep the Brewers, if we can at least win that series. It'd be awesome if we swept them, but we can at least get 2 out of 3. And especially with the Brewers,
definitely needs to be the goal to get 2 from those guys.
And with the Brewers losing a couple games here yesterday and today, and us Reds picking up a couple wins, now we're a couple games ahead of them. If we can beat them a couple games, hell, we could be 4 or 5 games or 4 games ahead of them at the All-Star break.
Almost definitely.
And then you just got if you just play then you just got to play some good, solid baseball in the second half, and you have a good chance of winning the division.
Oh yeah, especially when you start getting down to nut cutting time as far as the regular season coming to an end. At the end of August / end of September when the season, teams getting eliminated from playoff contention, teams competing for divisional pennants.
Oh yeah, I agree. All right, we appreciate everybody watching. This has been G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room. We appreciate everybody in the comment section. Please like, comment, share. That helps us, or helps our videos get out there to more people. So we greatly appreciate it. Like on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room, and at the ASAP All Sports All Plays Sports Network. We'll be back on Friday with another episode of GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, Around the Bases, myself and stat guy Dustin Reese. We'll talk first half of the Major League Baseball surprises and maybe disappointments and all-star snubs and all that good stuff tomorrow morning. Also, Easy Money, a sports betting show at 3 p.m. Eastern. Oh, and the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I know it'll be myself. I think Mike Hughes is going to be on there. I think Pride will probably be making another appearance on there tomorrow as well. And who knows, Frankie the Yankee might jump on there. So join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for that. Right around 3 o'clock, Easy Money, a sports betting show. And then at 6 o'clock, interview with ladies man Mike King and Jason McGraw from the Jay County Fair Board and DCCW, talk about Retromania. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. We appreciate everybody joining us. Hope you guys had enjoyed the show, and we will see you guys on Friday night. Have a good night.